Alright everybody, welcome here to this next episode of Ascending the Tower. We are getting ever so close to the end of Season 7. Not quite sure if we're going to hit that 3000 rank, but we're doing pretty well to get nearby. We started at 1600, we've had a few meme teams that have dropped us back a bit. Coming towards the end of the season, you always look to do something a little bit fun, break up the monotony of using the same mon over and over and over again. With that said, everybody, we've got a pretty interesting team that we're going with here today. We managed to get a 5-0 run, and we've even thrown in a bonus battle that came on afterwards with the same side. So, without further ado, let's get stuck in. Alright everybody, thanks for tuning in here to this next episode of Ascending the Tower. The team that we use today is going to be led off by Probopass with the Spark, Rock Slide and Magnet Bomb. We've gone with the Magnet Bomb here because we are seeing a lot of fairies with the new fairies that have been coming out over the last Legends X and Y series that they've got going here on Pokemon Go at the moment. So we've thrown the Magnet Bomb here for a bit of defense against the fairy types. Then we've got Meganium with Vine Whip, Frenzy Plant and Earthquake, and Shadow Machamp with the counter Rock Slide and Cross Chop. Now the first game we have here is against Lupus Clon. Let's get rolling. So we've got the Probopass here on the lead against an Aerodactyl. So that's a so-so matchup. The Steel makes him resistant to most of Aerodactyl's attacks. But we have the super effective Spark here with the electric type damage on the flying type. I'm going to throw that Magnet Bomb here because that does a bit more damage on the rock typing than a Rock Slide does on the flying typing. But either way, it's got the shield there, so it doesn't really matter. Now we've seen the switch out to an Electivire, and you might think we're only running the Magnet Bomb here, so we're going to throw the Rock Slide in here again. We're going to throw the Rock Slide here for the first time. This will be doing a big chunk of damage to the Electivire here, and look at that. Knocked off over 50% there with one Rock Slide. Now you got to be kind of concerned because the Electivire could be running a couple of moves there that could be bad for Probopass, but he's only got the Ice Punch here. Unfortunately, he's drawn our shield out. We did have the shield advantage, so it is okay. A bit of lag there as always. It's unavoidable on Pokemon Go servers, is what it is. The Rock Slide would have ended Electivire's day here, but he's decided to use his last shield to keep Electivire in the game, and we managed to get to that Rock Slide again, so who knows what the Electivire was saving up there. Maybe double wild charges, which still probably wouldn't have done that much damage to a Probopass. So the next one that they're going to come in, they might come back in with that lead Aerodactyl here, which would probably make not a great deal of sense. They've actually gone in with the Lapras here. So we will be doing super effective damage with the Rock Slide, so they don't really have an answer to this entire team now. So we will be able to get away without shielding this. We can lose Probopass, it's not the end of the day. We can come in now with the Machamp, and we still have switch advantage here. So we'll be able to farm down this Lapras big time. We'll go straight for that Cross Chop, which will be doing super effective damage. And that should be enough to say, see you later, Lapras here, back to the dugout with you. Bang, super effective, Lapras is gone, in comes the Aerodactyl. We'll be able to do exactly the same thing here, farm up to that Cross Chop, and then finish the match. Might not even need to use the Cross Chop, we can also just counter him down. Either way, Aerodactyl has no chance here. And we've gone for the counter there, the Cross Chop there, just to be a bit of an asshole by the looks of things. It's an absolute risshole move, but it's game over and it's sealed the deal, so that's the main thing. We got the win there. That moves us to 1-0. So the Probopass lead there does have quite some decent coverages at the moment. Now you'll see the Fairy matchup here against a Granbull. So if the Granbull's running, I think it's Brick Break, that does 260% damage to a Probopass, so you've got to be wary of that. Going straight in here for the Magnet Bomb, but they obviously have the CMP advantage. So we will let this first one go through. Yeah, and it's Crunch, which does a good chunk of neutral damage to a Probopass. We're going to go with that Magnet Bomb, which will be doing super effective damage to the Granbull here. Hopefully they don't shield it, and they've shielded it unfortunately. So we're going to try and farm up to that second Magnet Bomb here. If they get us down a little bit too low here, They've won the CMP tie again here. We'll have to shield this because a crunch will be doing way too much damage on that neutrality of it. And now we will be able to hit that Magnet Bomb. If this goes unshielded, that'll be one-shotting this Gramble here because of the super effective Steel on Fairy typing. And he does not shield it. That's super effective. Goes kapow. See you later, Gramble. In comes the Politoed. We'll switch straight out to the Meganium. And we'll try and farm up to that Frenzy Plant. And they've brought in the Stunfisk. So we're going to go straight for that EQ here. EQ's hit for super effective damage. Nothing that the Stunfisk throws here on the Meganium will be doing much, because both the Rock Slide and the Earthquake are resisted by Meganium. So we can save that shield. Not that we will need it with what's left on the opponent's team, because Meganium can beat both of them. So Meganium's going to eat this Rock Slide. Doesn't do a great deal of damage, as you can see. We might get to a second one before we get... Yeah, he's gotten to a second Rock Slide here before the Earthquake comes through. We'll use the shield now, just to give us a bit more health to farm a bit of an over farm here, which will put us in a spot to have a Frenzy Plant ready for when that Politoed comes back out. So we're going to throw that EQ. This will be getting rid of Stunfisk here. As you can see, bang goes the Earthquake and kapow with Stunfisk. In comes the Politoed, and we're going straight for their Frenzy Plant. And the Frenzy Plant is going to be ending Politoed's night and moving us to a 2-0. Back to the dugout with you, Politoed. It's game over. That moves us to 2-0. Now we're going to see Probopass again on the lead here for the third match. The third match coming in has Probopass on the lead against a Azumarill, which is a pretty negative matchup based on the bubbles, but if it's a Play Rough and an Ice Beam Azumarill, it won't be doing a great deal of damage, and I will actually be able to beat it with a 2-shield position with Rock Slides. So the Rock Slide does do a decent chunk of damage on an Azumarill, basically because an Azumarill is a miniature tank. Probopass is a bigger tank. So we have the Probopass here. He's not going to take this. This is too quick to be a Hydro Pump. And the Ice Beam, as you can see, does literally nothing. We're going to go for that Magnet Bomb here because of the Fairy typing. They will probably not shield it again. If they do, that'll be a bit strange. And they haven't shielded it, so it does exactly the same damage as a Rock Slide. So either one, you're doing a decent amount of damage to the Azumarill. Now that will be another Ice Beam, but I will have to shield it at this point if I want to keep Probopass alive, which I do not. The Play Rough will be, and no, the Play Rough actually is double resisted. So if you had gone for the Ice Beam, we would have done a little bit more damage. And the Rock Slide's coming in. If we can draw that shield here, that'll be humongous for us. And we've drawn out that last shield. That's huge. We'll switch straight into the Meganium here. And they'll probably go for an Ice Beam. They will. Oh, they've switched out before they could do anything. And in comes the Skarmory. So that's a very bad matchup here for Meganium. But we will just keep flooding these Frenzy Plants because they do a lot of chip damage. We will be losing the Meganium on the first Sky attack. So it's in our best interest to not shield it. It's better to hold on to the 2 shields here as it is to keep our good friend Meganium alive. Because of the Steel typing here, the Earthquake will be doing a bit more damage than a Frenzy Plant. So because we're able to get to it, and they won't shield it because of the matching types, does a bit more damage than you'd expect. And we won't be shielding this. We've done enough damage to the Skarmory here with Meganium. And we'll be able to bring in the Machamp to farm down because they will be switch locked. So the Machamp coming in with double shields and fully farmed energy will just farm this Skarmory down. They won't get to a second Sky attack after this. It is doing super effective damage with 20% plus because of the flying typing on fighting plus the Shadow. But we will be able to farm this Skarmory down, and that puts us in a hugely advantageous position here. Be very silly even to bring it. They've brought back in the Azumarill, but the Azumarill has a move stored, so we will have to use that last shield here. And it is a Play Rough, which would have been knocking Machamp out if it wasn't unshielded. But we are sitting on multiple cross chops now. And it's a Bastiodon, and that's just what you want to see in the back because it's going to take him way too much effort to get to that charge move. And we're going to go for that cross chop here. That'll get the first shield, and we're sitting on 2.5, so that'll leave us with 1.5. Do a little bit of over farm, then we'll hit this cross chop, and this will be doing super effective damage, which will be ending Bastiodon's night here. Off to the dugout with you, Bastiodon. See you later, you nupty. Now that moves us to a good 4-0. Now we go against Ideal Swan here in the next one. Ideal Swan with the Galvantula lead on the Probopass, so we have a slight advantage here. With the Rock Slides, if a Rock Slide goes unshielded, it will be one-shotting a Galvantula. Lunge does do quite a bit of damage, which is, it's not a great deal, but does enough to be kind of weirdish. The rock typing here will be doing super effective damage, and because they got the attack fall, they may not shield. They didn't shield. That's a huge plus for us right there. And they might go for the double lunge here, for the double attack drop. It would be the smartest play because you want Probopass to be weaker than he normally is. He's not the strongest. But look at that. It does so much chip damage. I mean, for me, something that's not effective should do about the same as a fast move. But that's my opinion. Now you've got Blastoise coming in here, who will be resisting the Rock Slide. That's the word I was looking for. But the Cross Chop will be doing a good bit of neutral damage, and we are able to get to those a lot quicker than we are one Rock Slide. And we've drawn out the first shield there. Now, what are we going to do? Are we going to use a shield here on Shadow Machamp? Or do we let him slide? We let him slide. So we're playing the
Fatality.
Russian roulette here. We know what we've got the advantage of here with Meganium on the first two Pokemon we're against. In comes the Venusaur, so that's a pretty bad matchup for a Meganium. If they can farm up those double sludge bombs and get rid of all of the shields. Frenzy Plants do a bit of chip damage on a Venusaur, as you can see. Now what we're going to be doing is trying to farm down this Venusaur. Just throwing Frenzy Plant after Frenzy Plant after Frenzy Plant. Our opponent does have to go for the Sludge Bomb. They are still sitting on that one shield, and they are farming up as much energy as possible here. So they've gone for the first Sludge Bomb. Oh, they've thrown a Frenzy Plant in return. That's a bit strange. They might only have one move. They are only level 20. So we're going to throw that next Frenzy Plant here to try and get that last shield, and if they do drop it, and it's gone, now we quickly switch into the Probopass here and throw a Rock Slide. And this will be ending Venusaur's night with all that stored energy that they've been sitting on. Bit of a strange move. But see you later, Venusaur. In comes the Blastoise again. We're going to go for the Magnet Bomb here, which will be not doing a great deal of damage. But it might get us to a position where we can farm it down. No, definitely
Run.
not. So we still do have that shield we're sitting on here with our Meganium. So we'll be able to drop that shield. This is most likely a Hydro Cannon, which probably wouldn't have killed Meganium anyway. But we put that shield up just to make sure we get the win here. Look at that, we managed to knock his socks off, and that's Blastoise back to the dugout. We've moved on there now to 4-0. We're looking for the 5-0 here against Black Pendant, something like that. Now we've got the Shadow Abomasnow on the lead against Probopass. Probopass has a super effective matchup here with both the Magnet Bomb and the Rock Slide. They are just going to farm up some energy and then dip into a Lucario. This was probably a bad decision on my part, throwing the Rock Slide here. Should have just switched straight into the Machamp. As you can see, another bit of lag here from the Niantic servers. Amazing stuff there. Now we're going to be hitting that 260 damage on the Lucario, who is somehow able to farm up to a charge move. We'll let that one go. So we put the shield up, and we will be able to farm this Lucario out. Now we're going to be sitting on multiple cross chops. Do they bring back in the Abomasnow? No, they brought in a Lapras. So this team is now double weak to everything that I have. Both Abomasnow and Lapras lose to Meganium. They both lose to Probopass, and they both lose to a Machamp. Especially a Shadow Machamp. It's a clear-cut win. So Shadow Machamp is going for the cross chop here. And he's used all of his shields to keep Lapras alive. Now we can come back in with the Probopass maybe, because Probopass has the Rock Slide. But we're going to go with the Meganium anyway for the super effective grass damage on the water typing. If this is an Ice Beam, it'll do significant damage to Meganium, but this is probably going to be a Surf Shield bait, and it's exactly that. So we've caught the Surf Shield bait, which is huge there. Now we'll be able to get to that Frenzy Plant, which we'll use straight away to get rid of this Lapras. and then we'll eat all the damage from all the charge moves that our friend Abomasnow stored up in the last one. And now we switch straight out into the Probopass. We'll use that last shield here. And with the last shield, we'll get to that Rock Slide before they do anything else. They won't get to an Energy Ball before we get to the Rock Slide. In comes the Rock Slide. That will be a good game because of the 20% damage bonus and the super effectiveness of Rock on Ice. And it looks like our opponent dipped out of the match before we could finish it. So, is what it is. We went 5-0 there. It was quite nice. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We got the nice bit of Stardust boost, the rare candies, and the mon we got was a Medicham. The Medicham wasn't overly great. Now it's time for the bonus battle. The bonus battle, we go against Jason here, 88. And we have the Probopass lead still in effect here. Probopass has come straight out against the Dragonite. This is a positive matchup for the Probopass, even though the Dragon Breath does do a lot of chip damage. As you can see, it does wear down quite quickly. And now we've got the Rock Slide coming through. The Rock Slide does super effective damage on the Dragonite. If this goes unshielded, this will be huge damage, but they've managed to throw that shield up. So we're going to try and farm up again to that second Rock Slide. And now the next move, if this is a Hurricane or a Dragon Pulse, it doesn't do a great deal of damage to a Probopass, so we'll leave this to go unshielded. The Hurricane comes through and it does nothing. That's laughable. Now they want to try and hold on to that shield there as much as possible. We're going to throw that Rock Slide in here. If they use this shield, then this could be a very fast game. But they haven't. Kapow! See you later, Dragonite. So now we are going to go in against the next one, which is a Politoed, more likely. Yes, it's a Politoed. We're going to throw that quick Rock Slide. And the smartest play here would be to let Probopass go down, because if we need Rock typing, we still have our friend Machamp in the back. They've held on to that shield again. We're not going to get to the second Rock Slide, so we'll just have to let him go down. Now we'll bring in the Meganium, who'll be doing super effective damage here on this Politoed. And this could be a Weather Ball shield bait. What is it? It is a Weather Ball shield bait indeed. So we're going to try and get to that Frenzy Plant. This will force them to use that last shield. If they do not use the last shield, then that tells me they got something in the back that's weak to Meganium. So they've used that last shield there, which means they're going to try and farm to that Blizzard. Yeah, they've got enough now for a Blizzard, so I'm going to use that second shield. And that means we'll be able to farm down the Politoed here. And down goes a Politoed, and what is in the back? In the back we have a Melmetal. Oof, with fully charged. This is how you end a episode here, everybody. He's going to be doing super effective damage here on this Melmetal. This Earthquake is going to go absolutely nuts. Kapow! See you later, Melmetal. That was a very saucy finish. That was a very big negative matchup at the end there for the bonus battle. The bonus battle was really nice there. The ending with that Melmetal wipe was quite nice. You don't get that kind of luck every set you do. But this team actually has some really nice coverages. If you're going against a double water, then you're probably going to have a lot of problems. If you're going against steel, you probably got good coverages. Mostly because you have Shadow Machamp there that'll do super effective damage on the steel, as you saw how quickly it chewed down that Lucario that takes the 260% because of the steel and fighting typing, which is kind of frustrating because Lucario is a crowd favourite, but in this game is rather useless. But this team does have really nice coverages, everybody. If you want to give it a shot, I recommend it because Probopass is an absolute tank. He was the main reason we went 5-0 here. With that said, he can be a little slow at times to get to his charge moves, and having Spark is probably the only way you want to go, because the Rock Blast Rock Throw is actually really slow at generating energy for you to do your charge moves. But yeah, with that said, everybody, down in the description you'll find a link to join the Salty Crew Discord server. That'll help you find raiding partners or all PvP battlers as well. This is the 11th episode of ascending the tower with the Probopass lead. It's been quite enjoyable to get you this content, everybody. As always, if you want to help the channel out, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Every subscription helps. And also, man, if you really did enjoy it, hit that like button, because the like and the subscribe buttons really help with the exposure of the channel, and it helps me out greatly. It costs you nothing, but it helps me greatly. So with that said, everybody, I hope you enjoy your days, morning, evenings. Peace out. That's The Fade. Hey everybody, my name's The Fade. Thanks for tuning into this YouTube video. I stream weekly on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheFade with a 4 and a 3. Weekdays Monday to Friday, 9:30 AM to 5 PM CET. Be sure to drop by the stream and give it a look.